Hola chicos, me ha costado bastante hacer esto, pero es muy importante eh, porque esta es la manera en que podemos avanzar en nuestros conocimientos. Lo que tengo, compartirle la pantalla, es una lista de mucho del feedback que les di a cada uno. No está todo porque había algunas cosas que eran como muy específicas, pero es lo que más se repetía. Ok, entonces voy a empezar por la pronunciación. Yo les he dicho, especialmente cuando van a hacer algo, tienen que buscar la pronunciación de las palabras que son un poquito nuevas, que ustedes no están 100% seguros. Well, okay, so we're going to start with this uh, side. Let me see. I just wanted to make, okay, we're going to start with pronunciation, this, which is this column. This word is pronounced ancient. So the N is silent. And this C is a sh sound, like ship, ancient, artificial, artificial. This one is common, but you might not know it. It's born, born. This one is super important that you pay attention to it. We're going to see next year that this is a sound schwa that I've told you about, and the schwa sounds up. Okay, so this conjunction is called but, but, uh, but. It's not but, it's not bot. So I hear different pronunciations, but it's but. This one, cheat, the ch sound is strong, stronger than in Spanish. So it's cheat. Child, the same. This word I always correct it in every course because when students see a U, like in this case, this U, they tend to pronounce U, and in this case, it's also a schwa. So it's cultures. And this one has a ch sound. So, yeah, more difficult to pronounce according to the spelling. Cultures or culture. Distracted, documents, ear. This is an E sound, ear. Efficient, exams, ghost, giant statues. The problem was with the, I don't remember if it was this one or this one. So giant and statues. Gradual. This has a weird sound, j. Gradual. Habits, habits. Images. The country Norway, Norway. Peculiar. Public. This one, like culture, is very often mispronounced, and students say public instead of public. Require, shirt. In the case of stop, the D sound is a T, so it's stopped. This word is surprise. The R is silent. Surprise. In these cases, all of them are because of the TH sound. So you cannot say thank or think or thought. It has to be thank, think, thought. Your tongue has to be between your teeth. Unusual. This one is a visit. So remember that the sound, the letter V is going to have a sound in English, which is v, like the F. Um, sorry, the position of the lips are like the F. Visit. And in this case, I am now correcting several of the students who are doing their practice with this sound because well, a lot of people do a j sound, like in Spanish, right? Like the words that are in Spanish, like yo, or at least our pronunciation of yo. And this is not a j, it's a y. So the word is yes, young, younger. Other words with the y, yogurt, yoga, all of those have this sound, yeah. Sorry, it's similar to the word university. So, yeah, university, and it's the same yes, young, younger. This word is maple syrup. Okay, now let's go to, because they are by categories. These were phrases said by you. Is a good tool, is good for me, is good or is bad, is my dream to visit, is not good. All of them are missing the it as the subject. This is because in Spanish we say, es una buena herramienta, right? We're talking about, well, for example, la inteligencia artificial. Decimos algo y empezamos una oración con es una buena herramienta porque nos estamos refiriendo a la inteligencia artificial o en cualquier otro contexto. En inglés siempre se necesita un sujeto, no es como en español, que el verbo nos dice quién es el sujeto. Entonces no tenemos que siempre decirlo. Entonces, eh, en muchos contextos nosotros no usamos en español, no decimos yo, él o ella, sino que nada más decimos el verbo, porque en el verbo está quién es el sujeto. En inglés no, entonces siempre tiene que estar. Entonces una oración nunca va a empezar con es. Todos estos casos, and it is the subject for all of these cases. There are more, see, is the better form. This one is repeated. I'm going to erase it. It's very expensive, right? So always it is. Okay. When you're talking about a time, a specific time, you're referring to a time, you don't use the. This is also Spanish because we say, when we say anoche, in this case, no, not. See, yeah, in this case, I'm thinking in Spanish. La noche anterior, for example, right? In this case, when you refer to a time like next week, we don't use the for it. When it's, I'll explain later the other case, but in all these cases, when you were saying that something happened last night or next week, or is going to happen next week, you omit the. Also, when we're using nouns, sustantivos, right? When we are using nouns as a generalization, as not someone specific, but as a generalization. So in these cases, we don't need the, unless we're talking about a specific people, as the people who were in the ball game started cheering, for example. So it's a specific group of people. Otherwise, you're just going to use people because you're using it in general. And here, AI, by the way, someone said IA, I think, or something like I don't remember what they said. But in this case, we don't need the, because we're talking about AI in general. Okay. Now, this side is problems with verbs. So, when I was a child, no, I'm sorry, when you was a child, when you were a child, right? Because were goes with you. This have inspired, this has inspired, this is singular, so it's has. The story shows us because the story is it, and we're talking in present, so shows. When this started, okay, not when this started, but when this started, it was in the past. And in the case of start, the past tense is started. See, in this case, we have a, a longer example. The AI have an advantage in this case. I don't remember if the person said or an, but the AI or AI alone is third person, so it has an advantage. So see, AI has an advantage. She has. With have, there's a lot of problems with have because you think of have just like tiene, um, and you forget that you have to make the third person. Okay, so she has. A phobia, not everybody. In this case, everybody has. In everybody is singular, even though it means all the people. It's singular. Canada has. So see again, classmate. I don't know if it was classmates have. Um. Oh, sorry. In this case, I don't remember. I guess the correction was because it was a classmate has. Um, Another case, which is past tense, which freeze, instead of I freeze, I froze. It's an irregular verb. I hear, I heard. It's a regular verb. I start running. I started. It's in the past. The hallway are dark. Was dark in the past. I woke up, not I wake up. I don't leave it open. I didn't leave it open. And this one was just something, I think, just one person that said it's make me feel nervous instead of it makes me. Oh, yeah. Also, yeah, I included it because of the S. So it makes me feel nervous. Okay. In so all of these cases, see that it's the third person or the past. So instead of saying the the third person of the verb, you're using the other one like have, right? Instead of using the past, you're using the present. And in this case, when we have a verb plus verb, so when we want to join two verbs, we have two options. One is to say, for example, I want to swim. Okay. Or I can use the ing. I can say, I love fishing. Okay. So these options, you cannot use any one of them. I mean, you have to know which one goes with each verb. So with, for example, with want, the only option is with to. So you're either going to have to and the verb, or you're going to have an ing. In the case of I love fishing, I like eating at McDonald's, for example. Um, but this is something that you're going to learn. There's a big list, but it's very difficult to learn that with the list. But what you can never do is to have nothing. I want try. No, I want to try. I love drink coffee. See that we have a verb and then another verb. I love to drink coffee. I want to go to many places because you go to a place. I'm going to the beach next week. There's a mistake here. I'm going to fix it. Too many places. I prefer, see another verb plus a verb. I prefer to study in the afternoon. Okay, and now let's go to this last part. These are different things. So AI sometimes don't do homework good. It's AI sometimes makes mistakes in our homework. We cannot say this phrase. Don't do our homework good is not, it's not grammatical. Um, Even if I wanted to change to doesn't, because AI is third person, it still sounds very strange. It's not, this is like a translation of the Spanish, and it's not the correct way of saying. When you use colors, the most common way to use it is just saying the color. Think of it in Spanish. We don't need to say el color, esta pintura tiene el color rojo y tiene el color verde y tiene el color, ¿verdad? We don't need to say the word color. We just say the color. So sometimes it is necessary, but it's very rare that you need the word color because the colors are colors. And if you say yellow, white, black, you know that you're talking about a color. So you don't need to say color red. So here, so yellow or red, that's what you need. Um, I think this was also about AI. Do me a practice is makes me a practice. Um, or the teacher made us a practice in past tense. So makes a practice for me. That would be the correct way to say it. I can ask AI to make a practice for me, or a every day a chat GPT makes a practice for me, for example. Well, it doesn't really sound correct because I have to ask for the practice, right? But you can say that ChatGPT makes good practices, um, makes good grammar practices. Something for practice my grammar, to practice. This is the intention. Okay, the intention is to practice. So it's not the preposition for. This is a very common mistake, using two prepositions together. We never have two prepositions together in English. It's only one preposition. So it's for or it's to. Now, when to use for and when to use to is something that you learn little by little with the contact in the language. Here it was for to go to India is very expensive, and it's to go to India is very expensive. He was texting to another girl. In this case, um, this is a common mistake because in Spanish le estamos escribiendo a alguien o le mandamos un audio a alguien o estamos texteando con alguien. But in this case, he was texting just another girl, not two. So you can say he was texting his friend, he was texting him, He was texting them with no preposition to. I lay again down. In this case, you have to invert. I lay down again. So again is an adverb. It tells us how the, the verb is done. It gives us characteristics of the verb. And it is it goes after the verb. So I laid down again. I prefer don't think about it. Okay, remember that don't makes the negative. No, sorry. It doesn't make the negative. It makes the question. No, I'm not sure how to explain this. But in this case, I prefer not to think about it. I would have to give you a grammar class to explain this. But in this case, I prefer not to think about it. This is the same thing with the AI, a tool for do homework, a tool to do homework. Homework is not a plural word. It doesn't have a plural, or it almost never has a plural. You have homework means everything you have to do at home. It's not like cuántas tareas tengo una tarea de matemáticas, tengo otras estudios sociales. It's not like that. It's just one. It's singular. So I have, do you have homework? Did you finish your homework? Just singular. In that time, not in that time, at that moment. If you want to say something that happened in a precise moment, at that moment. The eyes no blink, only stare. The eyes didn't blink, so we have the negative here, only stared. Okay. Here we have to be very careful with the order of questions. When you're going to ask a question, when you're studying in the university at least, you're going to be asked to ask the question in the order of questions, not with intonation. So I cannot say what a globophobia is, like a question. I have to use the structure. What is globophobia? Okay. You are more brave than me. Okay, brave is one syllable. In spelling, you can see two vowels, but this vowel, the E, is silent. So it's one syllable. So one syllable words, adjectives are always going to be ER. So you are braver than me. Okay. So I'm going to include some questions, like just the main things that I explained here. Oh, I'm missing one. Yeah, I'm going to use some of this for the quiz that you're going to do next week. So you have a quiz from the listening that I'm going to ask questions about the listening, and you're going to only listen to the audio. And I'm going also to include some questions from these main points. Okay, and there's one last word, one last division, which is this one. When you needed a different word, like the word was not the correct one. A whisper that said to me. Okay, in this case, it's not said to me. When we, oh, that said me, yes. I thought it was too. A whisper that told me, because said and told are different. When you're saying, like, the person who hears that whisper or that hears the information, when you have the person that receives the information, you always use told. And said is only for what the person said. So I can say, guys, I said quiet, right? So, okay. He said he didn't want to go, but he told me he didn't want to go. Okay. Here's a link for you to, I look for short videos that explain these cases. Listen and hear are different. Okay. When you listen, you are paying attention to someone. You're paying attention. You can listen to music and you are paying attention to the music, right? You can listen to someone who's speaking and you're paying attention. But here, to hear is only to receive the noise. I can say, I hear someone um, outside because you're receiving noise, or you can see, you can hear that someone is speaking, but you cannot understand well. So it's just the el sentido de escuchar is here, and listen is ponerle atención. I want to look a traditional marriage. In this case is I want to see a traditional marriage. Look, watch, and see are different verbs, and you use them in different ways. So here's the link. Very important. This was very common. It's not a history, it's a story. Una historia que vamos a contar, una historia de literatura, it's a story. History es la historia del pasado. En español es una palabra, pero en inglés son dos diferentes. Entonces, si yo estoy hablando de la historia del siglo XX, ¿verdad? O la historia del Imperio Romano, en ese caso es history. Pero literatura o algo que voy a contar es una story. Ok, esta otra, clowns are persons. Persons es una palabra muy formal y legal. Se usa en ámbito legal, no se usa en ámbito, digamos, fuera de ese contexto, fuera de un contexto muy normal. El plural de person, one person, there's one person in the office. En ese caso, el plural es people. Y people es plural, por lo tanto lleva are, people are, no people is, que es otro común, otro problema común. Clowns that makes you fear. In this case, it's not fear that make you scared because you become scared. Fear is a noun. Yes, fear is a noun, so scared is the adjective, how you feel. Okay, so remember that you have to review this for the quiz next week. Okay, see you. If you have questions, text me.